is the brain, and I am the mouth. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to jump right into it and not going to take a lot of time for anything here. I didn't remember to put my camera on, but we can do this right here because this kind of needs to be seen. We're going to make it quick. This is not going to be a long video. But ladies and gentlemen, all of the armchair doctors on Facebook and Twitter need to sit down and go away. And you are probably going to find that what I'm about to tell you goes against everything that you have been brainwashed to believe. And that it won't line up with your construct. And you don't have to tell me that you're unsubbing from me. You don't have to come down on me, just leave. Because all of this talk of arrests, all of this talk of the celebrity disease is a lie. And folks, if you think that the president has to put the Red Cross ships on standby, ready to be at our ports for arrests, you've been lying to yourself, trying to make you feel better about things. And you're not trusting the president. In fact, I've come to the fact that if you believe that he is lying to people as some kind of trick so that he can arrest 186 indicted, 1,000 indicted people or whatever, however many there are now, I've come to the conclusion you think that because that's what you would do. If you think that he would destroy an economy and kill countless people to get rid of pedophiles in Hollywood or arrest deep state actors, I don't even want you on this channel because that's crazy. And however many arrests there are every day on any given day does not matter at this point, especially because they are sending policemen home because they are finding that police are infecting one another, and we are not going to have our police force. Yeah, MS-13 has been being arrested anyway, Handler Tepper says. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. They're arrested all the time. But ladies and gentlemen, I have a cousin that works in a hospital in New Orleans. And she informed us today that the x-rays of young people and people without symptoms are showing something that appears to be tiny pieces of glass in the lungs, that there is severe lung damage of everyone who gets it. Everyone, whether you feel the symptoms or not. that you have something in your lungs, or they have something in their lungs that appear to be glass. So, of course, we were a little alarmed at this when we heard this. And then here is Faulkner on the pre or post show of Outnumbered, had a panel of doctors on who discussed this very thing, who said that the coronavirus x-rays show terrifying damage in lungs of COVID-19 victims. The CAT scans and x-rays of coronavirus sufferers' lungs taken after they came down with symptoms such as fever and cough show a pattern of abnormalities similar to SARS and MERS. These x-ray images, and I'm about to show you, and I looked this up after I heard all this, and I found this on the web. They are talking about this. Folks, this is what is coming out of Wuhan and other places, Europe. They're corroborating the evidence to show that something is up. And now American x-rays are showing this. So if you think I'm fear-mongering, best to just leave. In fact, join my Facebook group, but if you're going to go in there and be an armchair doctor and tell me and tell everybody else exactly what the Wuhan thing is about, trust me, you don't know. And I don't even want you in the group. It's, we're beyond that. We're so beyond that. And say that I'm fear-mongering, I don't care. Doctors have been able to identify specific abnormalities caused by COVID-19, and the patterns are similar to those found in patients from SARS and MERS. The scans show patches in the lungs, and the experts' findings could lead to quicker diagnosis and help to prevent infections. Okay, so in Wuhan, when they did not have test kits, this is how they diagnosed it, by doing this x-ray, and it shows up. So whether you feel the symptoms or not, your lungs will be like this. The first British person to catch the flu-like illness had previously told how it hit him like a train and left him suffocating and in blinding pain for weeks. Oh, Sean, more people die of the flu, but the flu doesn't do this. One of the doctors on Outnumbered said that there is excruciating muscle pain involved. So let me quickly show you what this looks like. See if I can get it up here. 1 second. Right there. My cousin said that it looked like broken glass, like little tiny like fiberglass particles, shiny in fact, shiny like a crown. Glass, ladies and gentlemen. These are the lungs. I'll just leave it up there. I can't because I got to change it. I got to scroll, so. CAT scans of a 50-year-old woman who tested positive after visiting Wuhan, China. The initial epicenter of the global outbreak show white patches in her lungs. The abnormalities are known as ground glass opacity. Are fluid in the spaces in the lungs, and they were more pronounced in later scans. Oh, Sean, more people die of the flu. You jackass. You jackass. What, you going to add to that number? In another case of 44, Sean, you're not going to call me a jackass. Get out of here if you don't like it, because I'm sick of, I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm sick of people who cannot handle being told the truth. In another case, a 44-year-old man. I'm 49. A 44-year-old man. Oh, this is a hoax, Sean. This is a hoax. In another case, a 44-year-old man who worked at the Wuhan seafood market where the virus was thought to have been passed to humans, went to a hospital after suffering a high fever and cough for almost 2 weeks on December 25th last year. This is why, did you see that press conference? Did you see when President calls it the Chinese virus? It came from China. And he's not lying to you. He's not making it up. He's not hiding the fact that he's arresting pedophiles, or that he's not hiding the fact. He's not hiding by arrest by making sure everybody goes in their homes so there's no riots and that he can contain the criminals. No, they are panicking, ladies and gentlemen, because they know this, and they're not telling you because you will panic. But I'm going to tell you so that we can stop this ridiculousness and stay home and not spread this thing. I'm sick of it. I'm sick, man. Let me tell you, all these asinine armchair doctors, medics. Get off of my channel if you don't like it. What, you're going to call me a patriot? I'm telling you to get off of my channel if you don't like it. The man was diagnosed with severe pneumonia and acute respiratory distress syndrome, but he died a week later. A 45-year-old woman from Sichuan province in China. They're lying, Sean. It's a trick. It's the communist trick. No, it's not. A 45-year-old woman from Sichuan province, Sichuan beef. I want some Sichuan beef. Sichuan province in China was diagnosed after returning from Japan and developing a fever, cough, and chest pain. Glass lung. Glass. Ladies and gentlemen, a 54-year-old woman with severe COVID-19 pneumonia after visiting Wuhan. Look at that thing. Look at that lung. Look at it. Look at it. The abnormalities are known as ground glass opacity, or fluid in the spaces in the lungs. There were extensive white What? You can't handle the truth? You over there crying? You over there like a little snowflake? You can't handle the truth? You can't handle me talking to you like I'm talking to you? Then get off of the channel. Get off. I don't care. You think I care? There were extensive white patches in her chest scan, and a reversed halo sign was observed in the left upper lobe, the medical journal Radiology reported. A recent study of more than 1,000 patients published in Radiology found that the chest CAT scans were better than lab testing at diagnosing coronavirus at an early stage. X-rays are better. The researchers concluded that CAT scans should be the primary screening method. In the U.S., doctors at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City were the first in America to analyze CAT scans of COVID-19 sufferers. The doctors, this is fake. Do you know anyone that has it? I don't know anyone that has it. So it's a lie. It's a hoax. You are so narrow-minded and small-minded that you think just because you can't see it, it doesn't exist. That's called ignorance. Ignorance. You don't like it, you know where to go. War drummers, you know, war drummers. We've been together. Thank you. Thank you for standing by me. Thank you for standing with me for the last year and a half. Thank you. The doctors said they identified specific patterns in the lungs of dozens of patients who were hospitalized in China at the height of the epidemic there. See, it's in China. It's a lie. It's a lie. The ground glass opacities, or patches, became more dense over time, and the patterns were similar to those found in patients who contracted SARS and MERS. I'm telling you, this president knows this. And he knows it came from China. – 45-year-old woman scan right there. Stay home. Person, friend, brother, sister, stay home. Take it serious. Get off of Facebook telling the lies that you think you know what it is and where it came from and why it's happening. You don't. You don't know more than the president. You're not smarter than the president. You're not smarter than his team. You're not smarter than doctors who have spent a lifetime on infectious diseases. Oh, man, they're all in on it, man. They're all paid off. They're all in on it. It's all to trick you and shut down America. Gosh. In the UK, 6 people have died after testing positive. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to realize that this is a human extinction issue. Call me a scaremonger. I don't care. Get out of here. But this is what this is about. Our government understands what this is. Life is never going to be the same if we don't get a handle on this. You better be afraid of it or we lose this, the president was thinking when he said what he said. You better be afraid of this or we will lose. At least 456 people have been diagnosed with the virus in Britain. The first Briton to die was a man who caught the bug on the quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan. A normal X-ray of a person's lungs. That's a normal X-ray. That's the novel coronavirus. See these arrows pointing at this stuff? Like fiberglass in the lungs. See it? See it? Doctors are horrified. Horrified. Doctors are horrified. On Wednesday, it was announced a 53-year-old woman who had a number of health conditions had died in Bali, Indonesia, after she was diagnosed with COVID-19. Let me see when this was. When was this put out? This is March 11th. Updated the 13th. Here it is, the 18th. No one has been talking about this. No one until today. Folks, this is a big deal. They knew about it and they didn't tell anyone because they don't want everyone panicking, because people are going to freak out when they find this out. That even young kids, young people, this is happening to. This is old. They are looking at the X-rays of people with no symptoms and they look like this. This is a normal lung. Connor Reed, 25. 25. The sexiest bikinis. Connor Reed, 25, was the first British person to contract the illness. He caught it in Wuhan, where he works as an English teacher. 25. Mr. Reed, originally from Llandudno, North Wales, was told how he has told how he feared he would die and he felt like he was suffocating and his lungs sounded like a paper bag being crumbled up. He was hospitalized and weeks later tested positive for coronavirus as the illness spread and was identified in China. The UK Department of Health says on its website, typical symptoms of coronavirus include a fever and a cough and may progress to a severe pneumonia causing shortness of breath and breathing difficulties. Oh my gosh. Generally, coronavirus can cause more severe symptoms in people with weakened immune systems, older people, and those with long-term conditions like diabetes, cancer, and chronic lung disease, of which we already know. And that's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth. And if you can't handle it, you're going to be the worst off. That you must listen to the president. This is not a game. This is not 30 days of darkness. This is serious shit. If you're not right with the Lord, you better give your life to Jesus and get on your knees and confess your sins and believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, for judgment has come to your house. This is not a game. This has nothing to do with the deep state being arrested. They may have caused it, but it has nothing to do. Here you go. I'm putting the link into that article. You must stay at your house. You must stay inside. Unless you live out in a regular neighborhood and it's okay to be out in the air. But you don't need to have people. Speaking of which, if you were planning to come to New Orleans in 10 days for our War Drummer conference, it's been canceled. It is not called glass lung. I call it that. It's called glass. Let's see, what was it called? Glass opacity. Here, let me see. I'm trying to find. Here, let me do Control F and glass. It's called ground glass, like if you were to ground glass up. Look at that picture of the virus on your screen. I believe that those collect and they become opaque and they look like glass. That it binds to the wall cavity of the lungs and it causes fluid in the spaces in the lungs. The abnormalities are known as ground glass opacity, are fluid in the spaces in the lungs. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. I'm not gonna play armchair doctor. I don't know, but all I know is I have 1 degree of separation, and that's by distance from a cousin who knows, who has seen the x-rays with her own eyes and have been involved with people getting x-rays. Nobody's switching the x-rays. It is the x-rays. This is not a game. Don't rely on what anyone has told you, including what you think you know from 8kun, 8chan, Q, whatever. You need to be listening to the president. You need to forget about what these people are telling you, that this is going to be over real soon. Forget it and get serious and quit playing with this. Please click like click subscribe, because I'm going to be thought mining the most recent press conference that the president gave today. They're doing it every day, folks. They are not playing around. They know this. They know this, and they are not telling anybody. But you can find it. It's right there. I found it. Type in Google, put lung x-rays corona, and you'll find it. You will find it. Folks, thanks so much for standing by me for a year and a half. And we're gonna be together until you or I go or the Lord comes back. Either way, however soon that happens or late it happens, or until they do not let videos be posted on YouTube because there's no advertisement. Thank you, Colin Kennedy. We've had an awesome time, haven't we? This is not anything to be joking about. This is not it. Do I believe it was engineered? Yeah. And I believe it got out of hand in China. And it started in China. And if you don't listen to the president, you will die. Down, everything is backwards, and as long as it's backwards, this show will be called Reverse Universe. It's all upside down and backwards. Folks, we're going to come on again tonight at 6. Or later. It all depends on how far I get on this thought mining of the last press conference, because I want to be able to deliver to you the most accurate information. And yeah, join our Facebook group, and I'll see you tonight.